Hello guys, let's start without wasting time. Emily had always felt like there was something missing in her life. She had a good job, a nice apartment, and great friends, but she couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to reality than what she could see and touch. One day, while browsing through a used bookstore, Emily stumbled upon an old leather-bound book with strange symbols etched into the cover. As soon as she opened the book, she felt a strange sensation, like she was being pulled into another world. At first, Emily thought she was just imagining things, but as she continued to read the book, she realized that she was actually seeing glimpses of a parallel world. She saw a world that was similar to her own, but with subtle differences. The buildings were slightly taller, the people were dressed in slightly different clothes, and the cars were slightly different models. As Emily delved deeper into the book, she began to realize that this parallel world was not just a figment of her imagination. It was a real place, and she could actually travel there. Emily was both excited and terrified at the prospect of traveling to a parallel world. She had always been curious about the nature of reality, and this seemed like the ultimate adventure. But she was also afraid of what she might find, and whether she would be able to return to her own world. Despite her fears, Emily decided to take the plunge and travel to the parallel world. She spent hours studying the book, trying to figure out how to get there. Finally, after weeks of preparation, she felt ready. Emily closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and focused all her energy on the parallel world. As she did, she felt a strange sensation, like she was being pulled apart and put back together again. When she opened her eyes, she found herself standing in the middle of a bustling street in the parallel world. At first, Emily was overwhelmed by the sights and sounds of the parallel world. Everything was slightly different, and she had to adjust to a new reality. But as she explored the world, she began to realize that it was not so different from her own. People were still people, with the same hopes and fears. The only difference was the subtle variations in their lives. As Emily traveled through the parallel world, she began to realize that there were many other parallel worlds out there, each with their own subtle variations. She met people who had traveled from other worlds, and she heard stories of worlds that were vastly different from her own. Emily spent months traveling through the parallel worlds, learning about the infinite possibilities of reality. She met a version of herself who was a successful artist and another who was a brilliant scientist. She saw worlds where humanity had made different choices and worlds where history had unfolded in different ways. As Emily traveled through the parallel worlds, she began to realize that reality was not fixed, but fluid. Every choice, every decision, created a new reality, a new parallel world. And she realized that she had the power to create her own reality, to choose her own path. Eventually, Emily returned to her own world, but she was forever changed by her experiences in the parallel worlds. She had seen the infinite possibilities of reality, and she knew that she had the power to create her own destiny. From that day on, Emily lived her life with a newfound sense of purpose and freedom. She knew that every choice she made created a new reality, and she was determined to make the most of it. We will see you in the next video. Till then, bye. Take care.